I'm just an ordinary girl. I live a simple life, go to school every day, and spend my time with my three closest friends, Dana, Adam, and Aki. We've been together since elementary, and I thought nothing could break our bond. But one day, something felt different. Aki hadn't been attending class for 3 weeks. At first, we thought he might just be sick or on a vacation. But as they turned into weeks, our worry grew. Diana kept glancing at the empty chair beside her in class, and Adam tried calling Aki's number countless times, but there was no answer. Finally, we decided to visit his house. We stood outside his small two-story home, knocked hard on the wooden door. Aki, Aki, it's us. Silence, no footstep, no voices, just the sound of barking dogs. Maybe he's not at home, Diana murmured. We'll try again tomorrow, Adam said, though his voice was tight with worry. The next day, I was walking to the convenience store, faint intertwined. I bumped into someone hard. When I looked up, it was him. Aki! I gasped, grabbing his shoulders. He looked different. His eyes were lifeless, his hair messy, his face pale. It was like the light in him had gone out. Aki, how are you? We've been so worried. Why aren't you coming to school? I asked urgently. Aki hesitated before speaking in trembling voice. Uh, I have a big problem. I got involved with the gang. I owe them money. I don't have. I don't. I know they're planning to kill me. My eyes widened. Aki, is that real? God, what have you done? I know. I messed up, he said in tears. Before I could respond, a loud screech filled the air. A black van skidded to stop in the front of us. The side door slammed open, and 10 men in black masks jumped out. Two of them grabbed my arms, while others seized Aki. Let him go, I shouted, struggling, but they were too strong. They started punching and kicking us without a mercy. Pain exploded in my ribs, and my vision blurred. Aki screamed my name, but his voice faded as they shoved him into the van. I felt myself collapsing, the cold pavement crashing up to meet me. When I woke up, everything hurt. My head, my ribs, my legs, my lips taste of blood. Slowly, I got to my feet, holding my stomach. The streets were dark and eerily quiet. That's when I saw it, a small ring lying on the road, glowing faintly. Something about me drew me in. I picked it up and without thinking, it onto my finger. The instant I did, warmth spread through my hand. The light from the ring seemed to flow into my veins like liquid fire. I gasped, my heartbeat quickening. I didn't know it yet, but the ring would change everything. The next day, I went to school, still sore but determined. On the fourth floor, I heard shouting. My heart dropped. It was Dana and Adam. They were cornered by our senior, Billy, and his gang. Hey, stop, what are you doing to them? I yelled, running forward. Billy sneered. Who are you? Stay out of this if you don't want to be in trouble. But I didn't stop. I shoved him. Into my shock, he flew across the hallway, slamming into the wall with a loud crack. The tile shattered where he hit. The other bullies rushed at me. One tried to punch, but my body moved faster than my mind. Sidestepping, blocking, striking back, they couldn't land a single hit. My kicks and punches sent them sprawling. When it was over, I stood frozen, staring at my hands. What just happened? Dana's mouth hung open. Raya, you have superpowers. Explain about ring, about the strange energy I felt. To test it, I jumped of the fourth floor railing. Dana and Adam screamed, but I landed perfectly on my feet, unharmed. We exchanged wide-eyed looks. The night we made a plan, we were going to save Aki. We tracked down the gang hideout, abandoned house on the outskirts of town. The building was falling apart, its windows smashed, graffiti covering the walls. The air smelled of smoke and rust. "Be careful," I whispered as we crept closer. Two guards stood at the entrance. I took a deep breath, then sprinted forward, slamming into them before they could react. They hit the ground hard, groaning. Dana and Adam slipped inside when I dealt with the more gang members. One swung a metal pipe at me, but I caught it mid-swing and snapped it in half. Another tried to stab me, but I twisted his arm until he dropped the knife. Inside, Dana and Adam found Aki tied to a chair, his face bruised, his lips split. "Guys," he whispered weakly, "we're getting you out of here," Adam said, cutting the ropes. More gang members charged, but I was faster, dodging, striking, sending flying. More gang members charged, but I was faster, dodging, striking, sending them flying. My fist moved like lightning, my kicks like steel. When the last one fell, ran to Aki. "It's over. He's safe now." We led him outside, supporting his weight. I pulled out my phone and called the police, explaining about the kidnapping, but leaving out a part about my powers. Minutes later, sirens wailed in the distance. A new beginning. The police took the gang away, and an ambulance treated Aki's injuries. The four of us hugged tightly, relief washing over us. "I don't know how to thank you," Aki said, his voice breaking. "You don't need to," I replied. "We're friends. We protect each other." From the day, I kept during a secret from everyone except Dana and Adam. But deep down, I know this was just the beginning. Darren had chosen me for a reason. And maybe I wasn't such an ordinary girl after all.